Hello, welcome to our channel where we talk about all things law of attraction, because there's nothing better than to come together to really talk about the laws of the universe, because the laws of the universe are always right, and we want our manifestations. We want the thoughts to turn into things, but there are some simple things that we have to understand. You are an extension of source energy. You are source energy. You can literally manifest anything that you want. And we're out here trying to understand how to quantify our journey so we know what to do, so that we're not just running around, walking around in sort of this muffled, muddy mess. We know exactly what to do. We know what to do next. We know how to feel next. We know how to feel on purpose. We know how to live life on purpose, because living life on purpose is so boring. So yes, we can feel your energy. We can feel your energy from wherever you are, and we feel you, and we can feel your intentions, and we know that you know that you're special. And this is where we all come and join together. This is the leading edge. And so today we're going to take thought beyond where it's ever been before, because you know a lot about law of attraction. You know so much about law of attraction. In fact, you could probably say everything that we're saying. You understand that there's this thought that I want, and it's a vibration right now, and it's being held for me in this vibrational reality. And when I'm ready, when I'm vibrationally prepared, what I want will come out of that vibrational reality in the form of an impulse, and I will get that impulse. And then what I want will be in front of will be in this tangible reality for everyone to see, and for me to congratulate myself on. And then there'll be something else that I want, and then the process will always continue on for all of eternity. So you understand that, right? You understand that there is a stream. You understand there is a stream, and this stream is taking you to everything that you want, where you want to go. It's going to take you. And you can't, but when you buck the current of the stream, that's what negative emotion is. So you have your emotions to help you understand, to quantify your journey, to let you know thought by thought, to give you the guidance of, is this thought going in the direction of my desire or going away from my desire? And so you understand the stream, but there comes to a point where you understand everything so much, and now you're ready for the last step. And we're not talking about the last step. What we really mean to say is you're here for what you really came to do, which is to receive source. It's like, now you already know everything, so now it's time for you to receive source. It's time for you to prepare your vibrational atmosphere. And in fact, if you can accept that there is a stream, and that you're naturally just going to go to it or everywhere you want to go, and it's inevitable, and the source is letting you tell you what to do, and it's going to come in the form of impulse, then you're vibrationally prepared. You're ready to receive source, and that's all you got to do now. All you have to do is receive source now. And so when you're receiving source, that's the thing about source. Source is not unreachable. It's not nebulous. It's actually really, it just sounds like your voice. It sounds like because you're the one who's translating source. It sounds like your voice. It comes out of your own worldview. It just sounds like you. But you have to know that, since you're always in a receiving mode, you have to know the difference between a thought that you thought with your effort and a thought that you received. Because where are your thoughts coming from? What receiving mode are you in? And so that's what we say, when you vibration prepare yourself, when you're sure that you're in the right receiving mode, you're in the receiving mode of your source, because you understand the stream, you understand everything, then the thoughts that come next, those are not thoughts that you're thinking. That's the thing that's tricky, because like, when you get into meditation, in the beginning, meditation really becomes this process of, okay, I'm going to listen to this sound, and I'm going to quiet my mind so that my inner being mind can pretty much take over. And so in me quieting my mind for 10 to 15 minutes a day early in the morning, early in the day that is, then I quiet down all my resistance. And then now when I go on out to the day, the world is different. I become a different person. And I don't become a different person, but my point of attraction is different. I look at life differently. I'm not reacting so much. I have more control over how I feel, and that's more control over my own point of attraction. And then you get so good at getting into that state of detachment, because that's what meditation is for. Meditation is a tool whereby you literally go into that state of detachment. So you completely release all thought, and then you're detached, and that's signified to you, evidenced to you by your absence of thought, absence of attachment. You're detached. But then meditation becomes this process where you literally start to receive source, because you get so good at quieting your mind that there's nowhere else for you to go. That's the thing. You quiet your mind, but where do you go after that? There's nowhere to go. The thing with meditation is that you don't go anywhere. You are where you are, because everything that you are about is here. It's here in this reality. It's your satisfaction is now. Everything is now. So your inner being is always rerouting you back to this now moment. It's not trying to whisk you off into another world. It's trying to keep you here, because not only is it keeping you here, but it's the only way that you can hear source is here. Everything is about what you're about in this physical body. So then meditation becomes this process where you literally become receiving source. But when you, in the beginning, when you tell yourself that, okay, release any thought that I think, but you're not supposed to just release all the thoughts, because the thoughts, you're not thinking the thoughts, because when you're sure that you're detached, when you can feel detached, the thoughts that you think next are literally your receiving source, your transiting source. And that was a really long tangent, but pretty much like that's the principle that we're going to talk about today, which is it's time for you to receive source. Because how are you going to get the money out of the bank? Because you understand the theory of it, but now you have to get in the place where you can hear source, because source is talking to you. You gotta get in the receiving mode of source, because source will talk to you. Source is talking to you. In fact, source has been helping you out. Source has been leading you on, because the source knows where everything that you want is. It knows how. It knows where you are, and it knows where you want to be. It knows how to get you. It knows about 50 viable paths right now that you can take along the path of least resistance, because source is not telling you clean up all your resistance. Source knows your resistance. Source is a real one. Source says, don't worry, we got you. We will work around all of your beliefs and your resistance, and we will get you to where you want to go. But you have to be able to, you have to receive source, and you have to know that you're doing it. You have to know that that's your work, which is to receive the impulse. So now when you're sure that you're in the vortex, when you're sure that you are in vibrational balance, and then you start to receive thoughts, you're thinking thoughts, those thoughts are not yours. You didn't think of them. The source is literally thinking of them for you. And source, your inner being is hilarious, because your inner being will literally guide you to and through contrast, because it knows that, and it just knows how to get you everywhere you want to go. So you have this guidance, and then you really stand as this worthy being who is literally a channel to infinite intelligence, who can literally translate infinite intelligence, who is literally receiving impulses. Because it's like your inner being knows something, and then it makes you, because the thing is, your inner being can't take you right to your desire. It has to lead you along the path of least resistance, and it has to lead you on a path. And so when you really get into all this, you're like, okay, when you get into all this, you're just like, okay, like this is very interesting, because I understand that there's power in my thoughts, so I'm going to monitor my thoughts. I'm going to be very diligent with my thoughts, because you're like, okay, there's a stream, and so I'm just not going to think anything. I'm not going to do any effort. I'm not going to do anything. And I'm like, but that's not the thing. That's not the message. The message isn't just sit where you are, sit tight, because you're going to get to where you want to go. Because here's the thing, source is talking to you, but sometimes when source talks to you, it leads you to the path of least resistance, because you in this moment, you do your work and you get caught up with who you are. You feel good, but then you know what's crazy? You want something else again, and then you're like, damn, because this alignment is not, this catching up with who you are, this feeling good, this positive emotion, it's not a college degree that once you have, you're done. It's actually this thing that it's ongoing. You either have it in the moment or you don't. So that's the thing, is that you keep expanding. So once you finally catch up with your desire, guess what happens? You have to catch up again. Now you're not caught up, because you're always going to be catching up with who you are. That's really why you came. And so the contrast is not meant to beat you up. You have to be smarter than that. You have to understand that contrast is a part of the equation, but I can catch up with the desire. There's nothing that I can't get into alignment with. And so you become really thought focused. Like that's the kind of the danger about talking about law of attraction. Like it's a science, because you think the science is about thoughts. You're like, okay, I'm gonna think thoughts that sound good. But when there's no when you're not shifting your emotional state, when you're not changing how you feel, then there's no indication, there's no manifestation to evidence your point of attraction. Because we know and we think that you should be having a perfect life. We think that all the subjects are really worth you thinking about and you worth calibrating, because if there are subjects, especially the subjects that really matter to you, like money and your health and your vitality, those are the subjects that you can't just ignore, because they keep popping up. And so imagine, right? Imagine you're like, okay, like you really have to shift your, we're going to get to the example. We're going to do a live demonstration by shifting energy, but you have to get good at shifting energy. You have to use this emotional scale, and you have to own where you are. You can't be embarrassed or shy about where you are. You have to own where you are, because the manifestation that you're seeing with your eyes. Because what is the manifestation? Manifestation is where you are, is in this moment. And this moment is like, how are all the subjects in your life doing? What's this snapshot? What is your life looking like in this moment? If you were to write it down, what do you have? What do you not have? That's what this manifestation is all about. So in this manifestation, right, how do you feel about this desire? Because here's the thing. It's time for you to receive source, and source knows that source is putting these desires in your mind, because it's like, that's time to think about it. Because when you really understand that I'm not trying to make anything happen, now the thoughts that you then start to have are not thoughts that you're thinking. They're thoughts about source. Source is thinking about your desires, the source is like, girl, you got to think about money now. And you're like, but the money and so here's what happens. So since you understand the thought part of the equation, you're like, okay, like you feel that the fear of not having enough money, and you're like, okay, this dream doesn't take me, so I don't have to worry about it. And that's like, it sounds good, but there's no real emotional movement because you're scared about the money, but then you're almost like skipping over that fear because you're like, well, I shouldn't be scared of money. I'm better at this. Because there's almost a sense of like, well, it's almost a sense of like being critical of yourself because like I shouldn't have thoughts like that because I'm spiritual, because I know more. But we're like, you are where you are, and your inner being does not care, and you should not look at yourself through the eyes of people anyway. So who cares what people think? Your thoughts are, it doesn't really matter where you are, because this is the whole point of today's exercise, is that you should learn how to shift your energy so that you can, because your manifestation is literally just your indication of your vibration, your indication of your most dominant practice, belief, or thought on that subject. So if it's a subject like money, look at your financial, your financial like your financial state right now, and whatever that state is, it will literally tell you what your most dominant thought is, and you can't lie to law of attraction. But now we're telling you that you're having you're having these, when the desire is born within you to have more money from the absence of money, you're covering up the fear of not having that money with words. And we're like, it doesn't work, because you can't just say the stream is going to take me, because it sounds good but it doesn't feel any different, because here's the thing, you're scared about having money. And when push comes to shove, when it all falls down, you really have to get in the state of like, I need to make energy move. Because if you keep getting a manifestation that you don't want, then it's time for you to change the thought. It's time for you to shift how you feel on that subject, so that you can start to get new indications. You can start to get a new evidence, right? So, because that's the law of attraction. Law of attraction is just giving you evidence of your vibration. It's literally telling you, like, you can't even lie about how you feel about money, because how you feel about money is literally being evidence in your life. That's like, we're like, clean it up, because in this high flying state, when you start to think of these desires and you're scared about money, you're like, oh my, I shouldn't be scared about money because I'm high flying. But we're like, that's literally your source talking. Your source is telling you, now's the time to calibrate this. Now's the time to move up the emotional scale. So let's do that, and let's choose something very interesting. Imagine you're like, you're like a YouTuber, and like you're like and so like, imagine you've been making YouTube videos for a long time and you haven't been seeing, basically, like, you want to be a big YouTuber, you want to be financially very abundant, you want to you want to really see the results that you've been wanting for. And imagine you've been doing it for a long time and you just haven't been seeing those results. So when you think about your YouTube channel, where are you on the emotional scale? And think about the feeling. So of course the thoughts come first, but think about, if you could place yourself, what would it feel like? It feels like almost like a disappointment, more edging into frustration, but let's just say it's disappointed. And so let's talk about it. So beat the drum of where you are. So let's own where we are with the intention to shift energy. Okay, so here we are. So we're like, so imagine being like, I'm disappointed. I'm so disappointed in myself. Like I should be doing better. I should be doing better. And it's so annoying that I'm not, because I know all this, and now we're going into frustration. And I know all this, and like, it's so annoying because, like, how come what I'm doing is not working? I've been doing so much, and it's so annoying because I've been doing everything that I think I can do, and maybe I should do more different things. Maybe I could try things that people are saying. Maybe I should listen to what everyone's saying and follow the people who have the success that I want, even things that I don't want to do. Maybe there's things I can market. Maybe there's words I can change. Maybe there's ways I can change, things I can change in my video where more people can watch it, because I guess that's my thing. And so now we're kind of getting into overwhelming, because now we're kind of talking about, like, so yeah, like, do you feel it? You really feel these emotions, right? So you're like, yeah, like, maybe there's a bunch of things I could do. There's just so many things I can do, and like, I don't really know where to start, and it's really like I don't really know anything about this. It would take a long time for me to learn, because I want to see success sooner than later. I don't want to just waste my whole time. I don't want to just waste my life doing this. I don't want to be a failure. And so maybe it's time for me to try something different. Maybe this is really not meant for me. Maybe this is just not meant for me. And now we're going into pessimism. And maybe I'm just not meant to have it. Maybe that's okay. Maybe we're not all meant to have what we want. And that really sucks, because I know that I'm a creator of my reality, but I guess this is the one subject that I cannot do anything about. And so now we're pretty much in, almost like, you're in complete pessimism now. So now let's reach for the feeling of boredom. So it's like, damn, like, let's really, like, what am I gonna do then? Like, I guess I can just be normal and just get like a normal job, and like, because I tried to dream and it didn't really work, and it's fine. Like, I guess I can find something different. I guess I can just give up on this, because maybe it's time to just give up on it. And we kind of dip back down into pessimism, and now we're going back into boredom. So maybe I should just not do anything. Maybe I should just try something different. I could, like, not try this anymore. We're still in pessimism. Let's go back to boredom. Let me just, not be interested in anything. Let me just move on. Let me just move on. And maybe moving on, maybe there's something more fun out there. Maybe there's something more fun out there. Like what's more fun to me? What does fun sound like to me? And you hear how it's picking up. You hear how we're kind of going into a state of almost contentment. Like there are a lot of things I like to do that are fun. I love to do fun things. Truly, I like to do a lot of fun things. There are a lot of things I like to do. There really are. And now we're going into satisfaction. There are so many things I like to do. And so much of my life, I'm doing a lot of fun things in my life. And I'm having a lot of fun usually. Maybe it's not the fun that I really want to be doing, but I'm still having fun because I love listening to music. There are a lot of things I like to, really enjoy doing. And I'm really having a good time. I am having a good time. I'm having a good time and I'm feeling enthusiasm. I'm feeling better in my body day by day. I'm learning more about the law of attraction. I know I can have whatever I want. And I know that it's all just about really admitting where you are and not being ashamed of where you are, but understanding that you have the power to change wherever you are because you are where you are. The universe doesn't care, and you can always go somewhere different. But it's about taking these emotional journeys, and now based on knowing, now I know. Oh yeah, I know who I am. Yeah, I know who I am. I know I can be or have anything that I want, and I can have this YouTube channel. I can have it. I can have it pop off for me. I can tune into Source because I've done it so many times. I can receive impulses. Sources can help me out. I can, Source can help me. I can have it exactly the way I want it. And so, bam, like that's how it works because we shifted. You went from feeling, disappointed all the way to feeling joy. And now that subject, your work on that subject is perfect. That's all you need to do on that subject because you have shifted your energy on that subject. And now the more you do that, the more you keep shifting, the more that you get in this high flying place of being like, oh, there's a stream, then the more these desires start to come at you and you're like, I can go up the scale, and they start to shift the energy, then you're going to start to see things that are different because friends, you got to shift energy because friends, we think that there should be no outstanding subjects in your life. We think that you have the ability, because here's the thing, you may think I don't have time to do that. It sounds really like a lot of time, or like you don't not have time to do this. You really don't, because you can't afford to live a bad experience because you know too much. So everything has to be on point, and we're telling you can do that because the more you do this, the better you get at it, to the point where you're flying through the emotional scale so fast because the subjects really don't weigh you down anymore because now now it's almost like you become scientific because it's like all I have to do is feel different. So there's a science to feeling different because it's all about feeling relief from where I am, because in feeling disappointment, what's one up from disappointment? Think about that. What's one up from disappointment? Frustration, irritation, impatience. So frustration and impatience feels a lot different than being disappointed. It feels better. It feels like relief compared to frustration. And so that's what you really want to do. You want to be looking for relief. And so you want to shift where you are. You want to own where you are because it's time to do that, because that's how Source talks to you. Source is talking to you, and you got to learn how to follow the impulses. And usually the impulses are first, they're very not mental, but they have to do with vibration. They have to do with calibration, because the action comes next, because action is amazing. In fact, we love action. We think that everyone should be taking action, but we're saying the only thing that we have to say about action is, well, what receiving mode are you taking action from? Are you taking the receiving mode from? Is your action inspired from Source, or is your action, are you using your action to bang things into place, or are you using your action to overcome the fact that you don't believe in your desire, or you know what I mean? So it really comes down to that. It really comes down to your vibrational stance about everything. What we're saying is that you can shift your energy. You can, and it's really about, because you can't see a change in reality until you have different thoughts, and these are the different thoughts that you need to have. You need to feel better. We know that you need to feel better. You don't need to figure anything out right now. You just need to know how to feel better. And so this is a live demonstration. And so you can do this on every subject. You can just keep reaching for better thoughts. You can just be determined where you are and continue up on that scale. And everything's gonna start to look up, and you're gonna become the overnight fame. You're gonna get the overnight money. You're gonna get the overnight everything. In fact, it's gonna feel kind of fun to calibrate. This is what the process of calibration feels like. This is what it means to hear Source and not give up on your desires, but love your desires and want a very fast life, and just be like, you know what? I want the fast life. I want the $1 billion. Well, I'm going to spend all my time catching up, figuring out how to catch up with who I am. I'm going to align with my desires. I'm not going to lower my desires or lower my expectations. I'm going to raise my expectations. And truly, that is the message for today. Source is talking to you, so listen. And in listening, follow, listen to what source is saying, and don't give up on your desires. Have a faster stream. Catch up with the stream. Do a better job of feeling better. And the way you do that is you move emotions. You move emotionally up the scale. You move the energy now, and you have the time to do that. You truly do. You have the time to complain. You have the time to shift your energy. You can do this, and we know because we've seen your vortex.